My name is Ben Goodbranson, and I have the distinct honor of being the artistic director and the conductor of the orchestras here at Kalamazoo Kids in Tune, and we are so excited to perform for you our first spring gala in 3 seasons. So, yes. The last time we were on a stage for a spring finale concert was this time of the year in 2019. A lot has changed between now and then, but I gotta tell you, I've been around for 9 or 10 of these spring concerts, and I am most excited for this one. You guys are in for a special treat. The kids have worked so hard. There is a tremendous amount, in fact, the most amount of original work we've ever premiered at a Kids in Tune concert. 3 original works by Kids in Tune students and staff here tonight, world premieres. A lot of classic hits, and a very well-prepared prelude group. Up in front of you right now is our prelude ensemble. These students all started with us at the beginning of the year. Raise your hand if you were with us at our very first concert of the year at Woods Lake. Where any of you guys, some of you guys were? You would have seen these guys play at the very beginning of the year. They were all about an inch shorter, and they had just started their instruments like 4 weeks before that concert. Since then, they are now pros, and they can't wait to share what they have with you. So, let's give it up for the Prelude kids. So over the last year, is this thing on? Here we go. While we were away online, we took that opportunity to kind of overhaul our entire curriculum for how we were going to start students. We were much more strategic with starting kids with really good beginning pedagogy, giving teachers ample time to really work independently with just their studios, really making sure that our kids had the best foundation they possibly could. And I don't know about you, but I am very proud of the work that our beginning students did this year, and they're going to be ready to be up with our symphony kids next year, and they're going to do absolutely amazing work. So thank you to our teaching staff who kind of put in a lot of overtime last year overhauling our curriculum, and great job to the students. Can we give it up for the Prelude students one more time? On stage now, we have our elementary symphony students. These are all of our kids who have played for a minimum of 1 full year. So we have some 4th graders, a lot of 5th graders in this group, and they're excited. They're playing a piece that is written by a famous composer named Edvard Grieg. He's Norwegian, and he wrote this amazing story about this fictional character named Peer Gynt. And Peer Gynt is sort of a larger-than-life character. He's always finding himself in crazy predicaments, but somehow he always lives for the next adventure. He escapes narrowly, and then he's on to the next big crazy thing. And so this is a 3-movement piece that they'll be playing. The first is called Morning Mood. This Peer Gynt wakes up in the morning. He's on this great voyage on like a pirate ship, and they're on the coast of Africa, and he wakes up one morning, and he notices the beautiful nature around him, the rising sun, the beautiful ocean on the coast, except all of the dudes he's with left him stranded, and he's there to just kind of figure it out. But even though he's in a pretty terrible position, he's like, takes a moment to really just appreciate the beauty around him. So it's called Morning Mood. It's sort of the irony of the situation and the beauty of the nature around him. Then the next movement is called Aces Todd. You'll notice this one is much more dramatic. While Peer Gynt's out on his journey, he hears that his mother's sick. So this is about him going home, traveling home to be with his ill mother. The third movement is called In the Hall of the Mountain King. And Peer Gynt takes a liking to a cave troll, the king of the mountain, the king cave troll. He takes a liking to his daughter, and he gets up the nerve to go ask the cave troll, the king of the mountain, if he can take his daughter on a date. And basically, Peer Gynt's a human, and the Mountain King says, yes, but only if you leave humanity and become a troll yourself. And Peer Gynt's like, nah, I don't think I'll do that. So it escalates into he's like, all right, then get out of my castle. And you'll hear it's pretty angsty, and you can hear the chase in there. So these 3 great movements, they can't wait to play for you. Let's give it up for our symphony kids. All right. Next on stage, we have our middle and our high school ensembles, and we are joined by our sister organization, Orchestra Roa. Can we give it up for our students on stage? So this ensemble, Kids in Tune secondary students, comprise of all students at a KPS middle school or high school. So we have 6th through 12th grade in our ensemble at Kids in Tune. And Orchestra Roa, Mr. Ahmed, what's your youngest students in Orchestra Roa? First grade. So we have students on stage from us with Orchestra. So we have some students down to 4 years old with us on stage from Orchestra Roa. And we are super, super excited to be able to partner with Orchestra Roa for the rest of the concert. The first tune we're playing is a Kurdish folk tune. It's called Soran Badinan. And Mr. Ahmed, the orchestra director at Orchestra Roa, will be soloing with us on this tune. It's always fun for us to be able to cross lines as much as we can and learn each other's music. So we were able to learn a piece from Orchestra Roa's repertoire list. These students up here learned a couple of the pieces from the Kids in Tune set list, and we're able to combine forces, so it's super cool. In addition to Soran Barinan, you see 2 pieces that we'll be performing. One is Conga del Fuego Nuevo, and the other is Danzon number 2. These are both composed by perhaps the most famous Mexican composer of like classical music that there is. He's still living. His name is Arturo Marquez. And the reason I personally love Marquez is he really took a lot of liberties to say, you know what, I'm going to write music for the orchestra, but let's kind of turn it upside down what people think of as orchestra music. Let's like write some really good dance music with a really great Latin flair to it, and it just happens to be played by an orchestra who might not normally be able to stretch their wings in this category or this genre of music. So we love Marquez. His music is energetic and captivating. So we hope you enjoy this 3-tune set. Let's give it up one more time for the students on stage.
Testing. Good evening, everyone. I don't think this is okay. Good evening, everyone. It is such a pleasure and an honor to be here with you this evening. What a great thing to be back together again. I'm Liz Euchre, and I'm the Director of Education and Community Engagement at the Kalamazoo Symphony Orchestra, and we are just so proud to have this program and to see where it's come over all of these years. We expected our 10-year anniversary in 2021 to be momentous, and indeed it was unprecedented, as was KSO's actual 100-year anniversary, which we are officially celebrating this year on June 18th. We are just, so touched and so happy to be back together again and to hear the amazing work of our students. They sound incredible. I'm just blown away and so proud. This is the KSO of the future. So it's never too late to celebrate 11 years of Kids in Tune, 5 years of Orchestra Roa. So happy with where we're at. We are just so grateful for the support we've received from the community this year and in so many of the past years. Many of our funders have been supporting us all along the way on this journey. They are the Gilmore Foundation, Kalamazoo Community Foundation, Oaken Foundation, Play USA, which is a program of Carnegie Hall, PNC Foundation, Stryker Johnson, Suzanne Upjohn Delano Parish Foundation, as well as corporate sponsors Denso and Zoetis. Please join me in thanking them. We are deeply grateful for our partnership with the Kalamazoo Public Schools, which provide so much in-kind and other support to this program. We are just indebted to the principals of our host schools for their support and for their enthusiasm, to the heroes in the transportation department who keep the buses moving, and so much more for us. We also love partnering with the Suzuki Academy of Kalamazoo, which is the host site for Orchestra Roa and a frequent collaborator on student performances. We have another very special in-kind sponsor to thank tonight, and that is Meyer Music. Many of the instruments that our students are playing are provided on loan generously at no charge to us by Meyer Music. They're just a wonderful partner. They even repair, replace things. We hope you'll support them anytime you have musical needs here in the community, but we are so grateful. So please join me in thanking all of our in-kind contributors. And now it's just really my honor to recognize the wonderful mentors who make this program happen every day. Day in and day out, forming relationships, standing by our students and providing teaching, providing a lot more. They are amazing musicians and teachers, and I know they go above and beyond every day, and that during COVID as well, demonstrated just such commitment, such flexibility, such creativity in completely reworking the way we do things. And then as we come back from COVID, we continue to rethink how we do things. And they're there every day, just, bringing all that they have. And I can see the joy in our mentors and our students performing here together on stage, and that's just so powerful. So we'll just want to acknowledge as teams. Can the Woods Lake team please stand up? Everybody who's part of the Woods Lake Kids in Tune team, the instructors. And also, so we'll see some overlap, but if you're in the audience, want you to see, like, if your kids are in elementary, who are they working with, other sites. So will the Millwood, our secondary program team, please stand up? Next, our wonderful Orchestra Roa team. You'll see some more overlap here. So you can see some of our teachers are all over town in the afternoon and throughout the week and interacting in a lot of different ways with our students. One quick special shout out, this is kind of our special forces unit, the enrichment team. Anybody who's helped work on our enrichment program this year, will you please stand to be recognized? Miss Nagar, are we down? Okay. Oh, and Miss Annie, our program assistant. Oh, make sure that, oh, Annie, thank you. Integral part of that team. I want to make sure that everyone now knows Mr. Dave Kreider, who joined our team end of last summer, fall, jumped right in with both feet to a really big role of organizing our program, managing, leading administratively the Kids in Tune and Orchestra Roa programs, providing just endless support, many countless hours. Dave is a guy that works all night often. And just doesn't stop at anything, and is doing so much for us. And you've been just a wonderful addition to the team. Dave, thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations on a great first year. And our two musical directors, I want to thank Mr. Ahmed Tawfiq for his leadership and vision for Orchestra Roa. Brought such wonderful things to our community with this program. And of course, the inimitable Pied Piper of music in Kalamazoo, Mr. Ben Goodbranson. Thank you so much. Just the heart and soul. So this is an amazing group of people, a wonderful team, and I'm grateful for them just every day. I'm gonna turn it over to Mr. G now to do the hard part. I'm going to leave the hard part to you because I don't want to cry up here. So Ben's going to help us with some farewells.
Real quick, if you're standing up, feel free. All of these seats are now available the rest of the concert. So if you're standing up, all of these on the side, the kids are on stage the rest of the concert. So make yourself to home over here on the side. Okay, so we just have a few farewells really quick because, you know, the way that it always works, the seasons in people's lives change from time to time. And this has been really hard for the kids because the kids, they build such close relationships with all these teachers. But we have, first, have you guys ever had the experience where like just the right person comes into your life at just the right moment and everything seems to click? Have you guys had that experience before? Miss Kennedy Dixon was that person for us. She came into our program literally like weeks before COVID hit, and she just integrated seamlessly into our team throughout the whole entire online phase of Kids in Tune. And then this year, when we needed a site coordinator at the elementary school, we were like, hey, Kennedy. And she was like, well, of course, I'm not doing anything else, which is a complete joke. She was like, yeah, of course, I can add that to my schedule, and has just totally owned the show at the elementary. Kennedy, can you come up real quick? Can we give it up for Kennedy? So I need to brag really quick because Kennedy wrote the last piece on our program for today. Kennedy is a composition major. She just got her master's degree at Western. She is a phenom, and she's going to Princeton next year on a full ride scholarship to get her doctorate. That's right. Her doctorate in composition. And so the kids got her this beautiful picture, and they all signed their names on it. And so this is to you, Miss Kennedy. Can I have a hug? Next we have Miss Megan. Miss Megan, where are you? Here's Miss Megan. So yes. In the spirit of Kids in Tune teachers hiring, or Kids in Tune hiring literally the best teachers in the entire Midwest, Miss Megan came back to Kalamazoo right after getting her doctorate in violin performance. She's an absolute powerhouse for our program. She's helped spearhead our entire string faculty this year as our lead string teacher. And Miss Megan is such a popular teacher in town, which, by the way, if you want your kids to take private lessons, Miss Megan's studio is absolutely busting at the seams. So Miss Megan's studio is just incredibly successful right now, and we'll be focusing our efforts on her private studio. She's still in town. She's still part of our family. She just won't be with us every single day. So, Miss Megan, we also have a lovely picture for you that the kids have signed. Let's give it up for Miss And lastly, we have the OG, Mr. Paul. Let's see, I have been here at Kids in Tune since 2013. I think Kids in Tune was 2 years old when I started. And Mr. Paul, I'm pretty sure you started the year after that, right? 2014? Something like that. Let's put it this way. I only remember Kids in Tune having one other percussion teacher. That's how long Mr. Paul has been around. So Mr. Paul has been with us since the beginning of time. And so there was so many pictures that I couldn't choose just one. But we have a bunch of pictures, Mr. Paul. Why don't you come forward? Yeah. So Mr. Paul has really helped. If you saw anything that we created digitally last year, from Some Good News to anything that we created digitally, Paul probably had his hands in it. And so we have just been, it was such an honor to work with you, Paul, and your creative energy. So thank you for being here with us tonight. Brothers got a hug. Okay. Next, is Miss Saraya Nelson here? Where is Miss Saraya Nelson? Miss Saraya Nelson, can you come forward, please? So, as we said, the seasons of change sometimes happen. With Miss Kennedy Dixon going off to Princeton, we were able to hire a hometown girl. How many of you guys know Miss Saraya Nelson? I know some people in this room know Miss Saraya Nelson. Give it up over here, yeah. So Saraya is joining our team as our new elementary psych coordinator. She is literally starting, what day is it? Thursday. She's starting tomorrow, like officially, like full blown. She's been with us for a couple weeks. We are super excited to be able to have you join our team, Saraya. Saraya is a hometown girl, right? Graduate here of Kalamazoo, and has a real musical background. So we're super excited. You'll start getting emails from Saraya shortly. You'll see her face at summer program. We wanted to formally introduce her. So, Saraya, thank you so much. Can we hug? Are you okay with that? Thank you. All right, we have some student acknowledgements. Let's see. First, we have our Orchestra Row. Orchestra Row turned 5 years old this year, which is absolutely insane. I remember the year Orchestra Row started, Mr. Ahmed's daughter, Roa, I believe, was born that same year, right? She was like a tiny, right? And now she's on stage performing with us, which just blows my mind. Yeah, there she is. Roa, stand up. No, she doesn't want to stand up. We're going to acknowledge all of our Orchestra Roa kids who have been in it for the entire 5 years. If you have been in Orchestra Roa for its full 5 years, can you guys stand up, please? Give it up for our 5-year members of Orchestra Roa. Yeah. Which, by the way, last week they played to a packed house at the Fetzer Center. I heard rumors around town that over 1,000 people were in the house that they played for last week at Fetzer Center. Those kids brought down the house. I heard people didn't want to go home. That's what I heard. So, good job, Orchestra Roa. Next, we have our graduating 5th grade students. If you're in Kids in Tune and you're a 5th grader moving on to middle school next year, can you guys stand up? Yeah. This is a really special class of kids, such a special class of kids. They started as 3rd graders and had half a year. Then they spent a year and a half online trudging away with Kids in Tune multiple times a week, taking private lessons. And now here they are making the dots connect on stage to end their elementary. In fact, this is their first spring concert because they were all canceled the entire time they've been in elementary school. So super special 5th grade class. I can't wait to see where they go. Lastly, this is a really exciting year for Kids in Tune because this is the first year we have graduating seniors. And so this is sort of like one of those just really big moments in any organization where you get to see kids who start at the beginning and see their way all the way through to the end. And they've proven themselves to be some of our most dedicated members. Year in and year out, they can always be counted on. So, seniors, can you guys stand up really quick? Seniors, we have 4 seniors this year. Give it up for our seniors. And listen, I really want to have you guys can sit down for a second. I really want to have them come forward, but there's obviously no space here. So we're going to improvise here, seniors. First of all, seniors, we got them a little present because the new Kids in Tune tradition is when you graduate, you get cords for graduation. So you guys get to wear these with your graduation gowns. These are honors cords, and you can add them to all of your other honors cords. So I'll come around and give them to you first. So first we have Clara Garces. Clara, can you stand up really quick? This is Clara. Give it up for Clara. And here, Clara. And I believe Clara may be tied for the longest running Kids in Tune member of all time. Clara has been in Kids in Tune longer than I have. Clara has been in Kids in Tune longer than every single teacher on this stage. Clara has been a part of Kids in Tune longer than every single person in this organization except for Miss Liz. And that says something because Miss Liz founded the organization. So Clara joined Kids in Tune in the 2nd grade and has been in it for its entire 11 years. Give it up for Clara, yes. And let me just say, Kids in Tune is taking complete credit for all of her future life successes. She's going to the University of Michigan next year and studying pre-law. She is just one of our most dedicated students. She comes back to the elementary school. She's been a young leader. She's one of our student mentors, for 4 or 5 of the last years. She comes back weekly. You saw her playing with all of the younger students. Most of you thought she was a teacher. Nope, she's a senior. She's great. Her favorite Kids in Tune memory is screaming Disney songs while at Art Hop. So, Clara, was that last week?
No.
No, it was the week before.
No.
Okay, it wasn't. She was probably in 3rd grade. Give it up for Clara. Next, we have Dylan Meek. And Dylan, stand up, buddy. Yeah. And Dylan, let's see. Dylan joined Kids in Tune as a 7th grader. You see, Dylan didn't go to Woods Lake. He went to Millwood, where we met when he was in 4th grade. And Dylan joined Kids in Tune the very first day that it was available to him as a middle schooler. So when we launched our middle school program, Dylan was there the first day because Clara dragged him there. And she drags him back every single day. And yeah, in fact, she dragged you to the middle school this week on Monday, didn't she?
Yes.
Yes, she did. And Dylan has been in Kids in Tune for 6 years. Next year, he's going to Eastern Michigan University to continue his studies, and where he'll only be 15 minutes away from his best friend Clara in what's that town? Ann Arbor. And Dylan's memory of his favorite Kids in Tune memory is so terrible that today his favorite Kids in Tune memory was watching Guardians of the Galaxy today. That's what he wrote. My favorite memory of Dylan at Kids in Tune is when we went down to Goshen, Indiana, and Dylan was also singing Let It Go across the entire campus of Goshen College. And all of the other students from Chicago and Indiana and Ohio were all like, who are those weird kids from Michigan? And I said, that's my friend Dylan. You want to sing with him? Give it up for Dylan. All right. Next we have my favorite senior flute player to ever be a senior flute player at Kids in Tune. Erica, please stand up. And I didn't make varsity baseball, just so you know. They cut me from the team. This is a picture of Erica when she was in elementary school. Isn't she the cutest? The cutest ever. Erica, if you want this picture at your graduation open house, talk to Miss Liz because it hangs in her office. And she actually took it off the wall today. I'm not kidding. She took it off the wall today just to come here today. So Miss Liz, maybe we'll have to let Erica have this at her graduation open house. Anyways, I just thought she was too adorable to not bring this picture. We're gonna put it right here so you can see her the rest of the concert. Erica, she joined Kids in Tune in 3rd grade, also because Clara dragged her. And Erica has been in Kids in Tune for 10 years. She's attending the Michigan State University and is attending, or will be studying pre-nursing. She's currently taking classes at K College in nursing. I'm telling you, all these kids are ridiculously overachievers, and it's all because of us. Her favorite Kids in Tune memory was at summer program 2016 when she was on the news. So yeah, was that when we played actually right outside at Bronson? Oh, you talked to, was that the Lori Moore show? Yeah, the Lori Moore show. I mean, come on. Let's get that back. We love the Lori Moore show. Okay, so give it up for Erica. Hey, Kevin, you ready? I got some chords for you, bro. Oh, good catch. Kevin, let's see. Kevin joined Kids in Tune the summer after 8th grade, and Kevin was best friends with, actually, you probably didn't know anybody at Kids in Tune. You probably just came because you heard it was awesome. Yeah, because he went to Maple Street, and all these other goons went to Millwood. But Kevin, instantly became friends with everybody else at Kids in Tune because he's such an amazing clarinetist. Did you hear Kevin play that solo on Dan's On? That was Kevin, by the way. Yeah. Kevin will be studying at KVCC for computer science, and their favorite memory was the time there was a Kids in Tune concert on the same day as the Norix Band winter concert, and Eric and I had to keep saying, "Are you ready for a double performance?" to each other. Also playing Medieval Legend. That was a piece we played in 2019, right before everything got crazy. So we have loved having Kevin around. Kevin has been, Kevin, play us that little thing that sounds like a cell phone. Kevin, my favorite memory of Kevin is that he can solve a Rubik's Cube in 4 seconds. If you want to see it, I bet it's in his pocket. You can ask him after the concert. Kevin, is your Rubik's Cube on stage with you? It's in his backpack. Okay. So, anyways, let's give it up for all of our seniors. All right, that's all the gabbing I have for you. Our last, what did I forget? Oh, yes. Thank you, Miss Liz. Checks and balances. The last thing we're going to do before we go on to our final performance is Clara's mom, Miss Garces, is going to come up and just say a few words about Kids in Tune, our senior class. And so, Miss Garces all the way in the back. Luckily, it's not a long hallway or whatever aisle. Let's give it up for Miss Garces.
Good evening. My name is Sarah Garces, like Mr. G said, also known as Clara's mom. And I just wanted to take a few minutes to celebrate and congratulate and thank Kalamazoo Kids in Tune for the last 11 years. I'm going to be really honest. The last 2 weeks I've been saying 10 years. It's 11. I can't believe we've been up here for 11 years. And they've alluded to a little bit of this, but Clara started Kalamazoo Kids in Tune in 2nd grade. But there is more to the story to this. And Clara was struggling and just couldn't find her groove in 2nd grade. And a staff member at Woods Lake, who I honestly don't remember who it was, suggested that she join this new after-school program. And Clara thought it was a horrible idea, quite honestly. Her dad and I thought it was a great idea, but Clara did not. And future lawyer, if that tells you how well the conversation went. But so Clara agreed to join Kalamazoo Kids in Tune to avoid riding the bus home after school from Woods Lake. And that was her motivation, because we agreed to pick her up from Kalamazoo Kids in Tune. And that was her motivation for a while, quite honestly. That was why she was going to Kalamazoo Kids in Tune, and that was why she was staying at Kalamazoo Kids in Tune. As you can see, now they can't get rid of her. But it was definitely a growing process for Clara. Another fun fact is Kalamazoo Kids in Tune didn't look the same 11 years ago either. The first concert for Kalamazoo Kids in Tune was to a packed house, sold out crowd in Woods Lake Library, okay? The other fun detail of it was that it was before instruments had been distributed, so therefore they played on paper mache violins. In case you haven't heard that performance, it's a little different than what you're hearing today also. But memorable, and the expectations and the excitement was there just like it is today. Over time, like I said, Kalamazoo Kids in Tune has changed. Clara has changed. It's grown. One of my favorite memories was the last day of 5th grade for Clara at Kids in Tune. And Clara was outside with Miss Danielle, who was a site coordinator at the time. And she was begging Miss Danielle to let her come back. My child that didn't want to go and didn't want to stay now didn't want to leave. So sure enough, we received that phone call that fall. And Miss Danielle and Miss Liz, and I believe Mr. G was part of that conversation too, had created the Young Leaders program. And so Clara and Erica and then another friend, Emily, had that opportunity to come back. I think it's a perfect example how Kalamazoo Kids in Tune has always really reached the students where they are and where they wanted to be and let them be themselves. Again, whether it's musically or not, another huge benefit of Kalamazoo Kids in Tune, if not one of the best Kalamazoo Kids in Tune benefits that we don't talk about, is the structure and those habits that the students learn of getting out of school and having a meal and getting homework done and working on their instrument all before 6 o'clock have really been life-changing for Clara, and I know it has been for others too. You know, we used to joke that Clara thought she was going to turn into a pumpkin if she wasn't done with homework by 6 o'clock. But those are lifelong skills that our students have learned, and those are what carry them today. My parents will tell you she certainly didn't get it from me, maybe her grandma a little bit, but those are things that because her mentors had worked with her so long, that she had those skills with her. And the Young Leaders program has also given that to our students also. You know, their leadership skills and their confidence. They just blossom and grow, and we see their wings spread. So, you know, and then the other benefit of it is the friendships. I think you could see the eye contact between Clara and Dylan and Emily and Kevin when they were reminiscing. These are lifelong friends. These aren't just 5-minute friends. They've spent countless hours in my car going to Kids in Tune events, non-Kids in Tune events. They hang out together after school. If you ever go to a band and orchestra competition or a orchestra concert or something like that, you see them cross party lines because we have 2 band members and 2 string players, and they hang out together and they encourage each other. Because of Kalamazoo Kids in Tune, that's the environment they're used to. They're not competing, they're not trying to be the best of each other. Don't get me wrong, there's family things, don't get me wrong. But they're used to that environment of spending time together with music, whether for fun or on stage. And it's going to carry them. And like I said, it's not just the seniors, it's everyone included. So we're just thankful. You know, these are just a couple examples. I'm sure all of you could share fun memories too. I too asked them for examples, asked them a couple questions, and see if my phone, okay. So from Kevin, which of all, I didn't have Kevin's number, but anyways, it says his favorite memory was, "Are you ready for a double performance?" And again, this joke started because we had a Kalamazoo Kids in Tune concert and a Norix concert in the same day. And the number of times that these kids, because of their dedication and because they knew they had to do it for a grade, but they wanted to be here, we won't talk about how fast I've driven between multiple events over the years, right, Claire? Okay. And then Kevin's favorite piece was the medieval legend. For Clara, her favorite memory was a few years ago, and I remember this. The first violins would play hide and go seek before our instructor came in. Sometimes the door would even be locked from outside, so we would lock him outside sometimes. Anyways, eventually we started hiding in the tiny recycling bin. One time he started rehearsal without even realizing I was in there. I'm pretty sure I got stuck in there a few times too. Shout out to Mr. Daniel for putting up with us, which if you know Mr. Daniel, he's a very quiet, professional young conductor, and then Clara. And her favorite piece was Minions March, which is just the variety of Kalamazoo Kids Tune music has just been a huge gift for the students over the years. From Dylan, because he couldn't let Clara tell him what to say. Because my memory is trash, I'm just going to say playing through the music yesterday was Dylan's favorite memory. And then favorite song, Can't Stop the Feeling. And finally, Erica. My favorite set of memories was in summer of 2016. We were playing different pieces from around the world, so we did different art pieces and projects from those countries. We did piñatas as a project, and I made a unicorn one with Emily. And that started off my fun hobby of making piñatas, which, as one of Erica's extra moms, if you need a piñata, you call Erica. She makes the best, okay? And then her favorite piece was Allegro con Fuego. Yep, that one. That one. Sorry, Erica. So, you know, the benefits have just been priceless. And it's, you know, my husband and I have made friends. I was a fourth grade flute dropout, people, and played trombone in Families in Tune. So there's no excuses for any of you to not play in Families in Tune. Lastly, I just want to, first of all, let me thank you guys for letting me reminisce for a few minutes. Thanks to all the supporters and all the site coordinators, the directors, the conductors, everyone over the years. You know, it's been an amazing experience. I'm not going to name names except for one, but Miss Liz, thank you. You have been like the ringleader of all this craziness. I consider you a friend, and I'm just thankful. Thanks for letting us be here. And, you know, I know my daughter would have been successful no matter what, but Kalamazoo Kids in Tune over the last year has been that, or the last 11 years has been that place, that permanent thing in her life to keep her going. It's even, you know, recently a self-care item of just making sure she spends time with that instrument that she loves so much. And sometimes getting friends to come over because that's the rule that they have to bring instruments over at times. So yeah, I'm gonna follow Clara's lead finally and say, I'm not gonna say goodbye. We're gonna say see you later. Consider us the first members of the Alumni Association, right? Because you can't get rid of us. And I hope everyone has an amazing summer. So thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here with us at our final concert of the year. The final performance of our gala includes our work on the project Reflections on Resilience. Carnegie Hall's Play USA launched Reflections on Resilience to explore music as storytelling for students who study instrumental music at Play USA partner organizations across the country. Reflections on Resilience strives to capture the way young artists and communities across the country are experiencing many changes in their lives, creating art amid converging pandemics of global health crisis and systemic oppression. We at Kids in Tune, as one of the Play USA partner organizations, have also worked on this project during the past year. This project includes 3 sections, in between which we will tell you our stories with our own improvisations and texts. It's our reflections on resilience during the hard time of pandemic. The first section might include triggering words and content for some of you, so please feel free to step out if you need to. We will talk about hope and resilience and how music has helped us to go through this experience. We hope that by sharing this with you and sharing our music and words, we can encourage others to be hopeful and resilient and spread togetherness and community. The first part starts with their improvisation, which is based on a text about the beginning of the pandemic and the confusion it brought upon humanity. We talk about hope, and as we move to the orchestra, which will play a piece composed by one of our friends at Kids in Tune, Jaquan Noble, during the pandemic. The second part is all about the power of music as a unifier and a strong peacemaker tool that we have. The orchestra then plays Ode to Joy, the theme from Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, which has become a symbol of unity, hope, and togetherness. The last part will focus on us as a community at Kids in Tune and our resilience and work with music. The orchestra will wrap up this project by playing the Kids in Tune anthem written by Kennedy Dixon, who will also conduct the piece. And for the first time, we will have a group of our friends singing the lyrics, which have been written by them for this piece. We're very excited to share this ambitious and amazing project with you and hope you'll enjoy it. Everything was normal. All was well. Or so we thought. It's 2020. COVID hits. Every news station echoed with the same warning. A new disease named the coronavirus was spreading. People were dying, and those who weren't were dying in their hearts. Things were changing from masks to virtual school. Nothing was the same. Everything started to pile on. The Black Lives Matter movement lived up new meanings of freedom and resilience and how to fight for those values. More and more things are brought to light. Chaos. Confusion. Isolation. Pandemic. But night doesn't last forever. We are resilient and we are strong. We support each other and we have our music to be our voice, to be our hope. We kept making music, playing our instruments, making our long days different. We even made our own music that sings maybe our sorrow, but more than that, our strength. The power of dreaming for a shining tomorrow and love for each other. What is the power of music that can bring us all together from all backgrounds, cultures, languages, and colors? Music is the one voice of all voices. Music breaks through the borders. It can go beyond all of our differences. It unites us effortlessly. Music reminds us of hope, dreaming for a better future, and of forthcoming bright days. We use our music to sing out ourselves, to be ourselves and remind each other of the hope and resilience that we need during the hardest of times. The storm will pass and the flowers will always grow and the birds singing will be heard once more. We too sing through our instruments for a better world, unity and equality. And this is the power of music. Resilience. Resilience is being bold, unbreakable, musical, original, positive, confident, tough, inspirational, strong, unique.
Unbreakable. Original. Confident. Unique. Musical. Positive.
Resilience. Being resilient is bravery. We here at Kids in Tune as a community stayed courageous and kept our hopes and dreams alive through our music. We will keep making our music for a brighter future ahead of us, for the next generations to be hopeful and hardworking, and above all, for ourselves, to reflect on our experiences, express our ideas, and keep pushing forward. We believe in respect and love. Our music is graceful like a dove. We love to play and sing and dance. We believe in ourselves, in our music and chants.
Thank you so much for sticking it out late with us tonight. That project has been an absolute crazy road this year, putting all of those pieces together. So thank you to everybody involved, and thank you for staying out late with us. And kids, thank you so much. You guys did an absolutely amazing job. Please make sure that you sign your students out with Miss Kennedy, Mr. Dave, whoever's out there at that table. And we'll see everyone else at summer camp, all right? Thank you. Have a good spring.
One more quick thing. One more quick thing. If your students are, they are using a Kids in Tune instrument that we have loaned to you, and they are not going to be with us over the summer, will you please leave that instrument? If they're going to be with us in a few weeks, take the instrument with you. Otherwise, leave it here so we can turn it in, give it back in the fall. Thank you. Have a great night.